Hello everyone, we're going to go over cast properties and cast element properties inside PrintCAST. So we're going to show you how you can access features like this for parallax occlusion, as well as rotate follow cam buttons. You can see how visit website and the Instagram icon are following me, so I can read them no matter what angle I'm on when it's like that. So I'm going to show you how you can access those properties and make the most out of your cast. So if you've designed content within PrintCAST, on the left hand or on the right hand side, sir, you have cast properties. So let's just turn off those features. You can see what it would look like normally if you're just using the default features. And again, these features are accessible on the right hand side underneath cast properties. So if I went objects below grid are visible, right now it's if behind image. I have content placed below. If I went if not behind image, which is the default, that's when you will see the image of the cast and content on top. Right now, I'm going to go shadows on the image. Let's just go update, and let's go back to cast properties for 1 second. I'm going to go objects below visible. I'm going to go never. I'm just going to go update, and that way I can't really see anything below the plane. Okay, so I'm just going to go save. I'm going to refresh my phone. It'll save pretty fast. So as soon as it saves, I'm just going to refresh my phone and it'll be ready to go. So right now I'm just going to refresh this cast instead of having to scan it again or anything. And I'm simply going to aim at the print. And you'll now see that it doesn't have that parallax or occlusion look. Now there's a shadow, right? Now let's just go back to that real quick again and go to the cast properties. And let's go to the shadows and let's go off the image. And let's go update and save. Right now you notice that Hello WorldCAST doesn't have any shadow underneath it, and the KP9 logo is not going off onto the table. I'm just going to refresh this. And you'll see that the content will now be off the card. Let's grab this. See, but the shadow doesn't look very appropriate when it's not anchored onto something. If it's just floating in midair, it doesn't look appropriate or right? So the KP9 logo and elements are off the table, but we really don't like that look. So let's go back to return to studio. Let's go cast properties. Let's go if behind image, and let's go nowhere. The cast will still update on models and other elements in the scene, but it won't cast a shadow to reality at all. So let's just go update. Let's go save. And we will update this one more time. Just refresh that. And now all the content will be back how I designed it to begin with. Okay. Let's go return to studio. Let's go back to cast properties and let's talk about select a new file. So if you go select a new file, this is where you can update your image. So if you made some modifications to your print, or you just want to put another totally different design in there altogether and just keep that one cast active and let the other one image, if you're using a new image, you can just keep on doing that as well. You can go select your own file. You can go design on Canva if you want to use Canva for design services, or edit on Canva if it's already a Canva design. In this case, mine's already a Canva design. I'm just going to X out of this, go back to cast properties, and you also have the metrics here. This tells you, this is what you get when you first upload the image, and it'll tell you what is new on the, if anything's changed, if you update anything. The style guide's there to help you make a different, what's good and bad for tracking, as well as you can rename your cast up here. All right, let's go back out of here. Let's talk about the cast elements. Every object has its own little modal that pops up. I'm just gonna put this in full screen, just to stay focused. So every modal or every object has its own properties. So if I click text, it allows me to change all the elements here. If I click this object, it allows me to do different things. I can add glowing. I can edit the model and I can adjust a few different things. So any of these elements I can pick. Now let's talk about the bottom row. So I have this astronaut selected. If I go change asset, it's going to open up the asset to allow me to change out for something else within Sketchfab. If it was a custom 3D model, it'll allow me to browse on my PC or Mac, or access my existing library of content. So if I click KP9 logo, which is a custom model, and I went change, it would allow me to either upload a custom model, or I go to the 3D model library and choose from some of the pre-made ones that we put in there for buttons, as well as some of my custom ones I've uploaded over the the last few years that are in my library, so I can access them at any time. If I go to reset, this will just put the object back to its initial size and state that it came in on the initial, from the center of the scene, and whatever size it originally came at, in whatever position it originally came in, that will go back to the original state of when you first did that. So right now I don't want to do that because I don't want to go back and change that at all. You can pause the animation here, and you can of course delete, and it'll come up and say, are you really sure you want to delete? In this case, I'm going to go cancel. If you have numerous objects in your cast, as you can see, one of these occlusion layers, these parallax layers, can get a little bit complex because there's a lot of objects going on. We have an object below, I have an MP4 below that. So what's really cool about this is we've made it so that not only can you hover over objects to quickly grab them, but as you have deeper layers, you can just continuously click. Watch this. I'm going to click, I've got the rocket. I'm going to click one more, I've got the PNG of the border that's around this. I click one more time, I've got the box that's underneath us all. If I grab it one more time, I have the MP4. So you can just keep clicking until you actually grab the object, as long as you're not touching the gizmo at all, which in this case, anytime you grab this gizmo, and the information for about it, this is in the upper left-hand corner, you can rotate, scale, you can rotate, and move it wherever you want. And if you move somewhere and you don't like it, you can always go to the undo or redo buttons, and they have like pretty much unlimited states until you, unless you close the browser. There's a lot of history that you can go back to the very beginning, or back to where you left off if you didn't like what you looked at, right? So that's pretty much it for those. And now let's go back to these visit website buttons that you saw rotating. So I'm going to, right now, follow camera is enabled. I'm going to turn follow camera off. I'm going to go save. I'm going to look at our phone again. Oh, I refreshed a little too fast. Let's just refresh that again. And we'll notice that the Instagram icon will now rotate, but the visit website button will not. Right now I have a little bit of a fade animation on them, so they're taking a little bit to load in. There we go. But that's on purpose because I told them to be timed to come in after. So the website is static, but the Instagram is rotating around. One more element that we can show the follow camera in action on this modal is let's just upgrade this cast. We're going to go cast properties. We're going to upgrade cast, and we're going to select the $10 premium one because this allows us to use green screen video. I'm just going to drag a green screen video into this content real quick. I'm going to go filter green screen. I'm going to go proceed. I'm going to quickly just scale this up. It's just underneath the rocket right now, so I can't see it. Let's move it over here. We're going to rotate it up so it's standing. The video. Perfect. And we're going to turn off the parallax occlusion for a minute. I'm just going to go, if not behind image default, and we'll just put shadows on the image, and we'll go update, and we're going to make sure that we put follow camera on this and go save. This is great if you have film somebody on green screen and you want to have a little bit of a 3D look without having it stuck just if you go to the side and you just see it from the side, right? Let's just go refresh, and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, so we're now going to have that video on here. So as I rotate the element, oops, I forgot to turn off that background. That's fine. But you notice that that green screen video follows the camera. Okay. Now I'll show you what it would look like if it was off. Right? But then it doesn't look too good when you go from the side. That's why that follow camera, just to illustrate that one more time. Okay. One last feature about video on the cast element properties. When I have this selected, if the video had audio, you could go subtitles, and it would analyze the words and obviously make them in the speech to text. And here you can go edit subtitles, because our system isn't, some of the words are just going to mangle. That's just straight up. So you can go in here, you can actually edit the SRT as well, and you can actually export it so you could use it for LinkedIn or other platforms that you have to upload the SRT with the video. So you could actually use our system to generate the SRT, edit the SRT, export the SRT, and bring it into any other software that you may need. Since our system does have subtitles in, because we believe in accessibility, and that needs to be a thing, and that's not involved in the premium. That's available for both freemium casts as well as premium casts. So that is pretty much it. That is pretty much the cast properties as well as the cast element modals to be able to change content, and all you have to do is just explore. I can't wait to see what you create.